Hey everybody, this is TinTim. That's T-I-N as in nipple, T-I-M as in make it count. Um, I am America's terminally insightful drag queen public intellectual, aka the Cornell motherfucking West of Drag, coming to you with my thoughts on, what episode are we on? 9, 10, whatever. Of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6. I thought I'd better make a video early this week since I accidentally skipped last week, like, all to fucking gether, which was not my intention. I just kept putting it off, and then I was like, oh crap, it's Sunday night, Monday morning. So I guess I can talk a little bit about both episodes, because, truth be told, to be honest, what was the challenge even last week? I feel like I have, like, short-term memory loss problems with reality television where it's like the only thing you're thinking about the entire time you're watching it's your entire universe, and then the minute it's over you're like, oh, I don't remember anything about what just happened. So this week was the makeover challenge, the wedding challenge, and last week was the talk show, right. So I guess just real quick on the talk show episode, one of the things I'm real struck by is how surprised a lot of people seem to be, the queens included, but also viewers of the show that I've had conversations with, about how how difficult it is to be a talk show host, how difficult the challenge was. And to be honest, like, I was surprised that they were surprised. To me, that's about one of the most difficult challenges you can ever pose to someone, really. My partner used to moderate, host a panel discussion at a monthly event here in Chicago for many years. That was an event for, like, sustainability and green environmental people here. But he always talks about how, when you are hosting something, there's a quote that he likes to quote that I think comes from Yo-Yo Ma that's actually about performing and how you have to have, like, 3 minds going, 3 brains going simultaneously to be successful. And one is, like, the brain that's out there in the audience watching, one is the one that is on stage, and I guess the other one is, like, if I'm remembering it correctly, kind of like the meta function that's kind of all places at once, or kind of knows what's coming, is anticipating, like, the next, I don't know, something like that. But it's all of that compounded, plus maybe like 4 or 5 even extra brains in addition, I think, when you're hosting something. It's like you have to be totally present and paying attention to the guest and listening to them and, responding authentically, getting them to open up and talk. You have to, at the same time, think about how you're presenting yourself and how to make that funny and entertaining. Think about the audience and how to draw them in, what they're seeing, and above all, like, how to keep the whole thing going and where it needs to go. So you have to listen and respond to what someone's saying, but also remember, well, this needs to get asked later, and we have this much amount of time left, and you have to keep all that going without seeming like you're thinking too hard, or without seeming like any of that is going, right? So fucking super hard. To me, then, it's no wonder that even really seasoned queens like Bianca, struggled a little bit with it. Even if they did fine, like, she didn't do badly, but not an easy thing to do. So I think that's kind of all I want to say about that episode, though. I didn't think it was a bad episode. I just didn't, I think after the emotional intensity of the doubleheader and Laganja panic room meltdown and all those other storylines that went on that week, I just the last couple of weeks have felt more just kind of keeping it going, and they've had their funny moments, but, like, whatever, they don't feel like if the season is like an arc with, like, peaks, they don't feel like bam peaks to me. But it's been fine, because to me, like, this season won me over as one of my favorites, episodes and episodes ago. So they don't need to do a whole lot except not royally fuck up to keep me happy at this point, because I'm already trusting them so hard with this season, and as far as the season is concerned, yeah. Makeover challenge and the wedding thing. I realized something this week, and I'm just gonna, like, own it and just be like, this is my feeling about this. I don't really enjoy watching the makeover episodes very much. is what I realized. I think it's totally a fair challenge to give the queens, and a really good one to kind of test their skills. It's something people do that actually is kind of based on something that queens do in the real world, or some queens do in the real world. It's a very difficult skill. It tests them in a, I think, a totally a fair and a real way. That's, I think it's a good challenge to put forward to them, because it does sort of, it really draws out some skill and lack thereof every year, right? But I just don't. I think that the fact that it comes at this point in the season where you have gotten to know these people so well, and at this point you're like so invested in the characters, that to have like 5, this year it was 6 extra people, and this year it was 12 because they had the wives too, like kind of descend out of nowhere on you, and like you have to pay attention to these characters and like care about them and follow their storyline for the episode, is just sort of like invasive to me. And someone was commenting on this on Reddit, I think, but there tends to be something extra staged feeling sometimes about some of these contestants that come on for the makeover show. I think that so like someone found a Doris couple that she made over the guy, and found footage of them on like 3 or 4 other competitive reality shows, and I think that there are these people who go to LA, maybe they're aspiring actors, and they go on reality show auditions as part of their aspiring acting, or maybe they are failed actors and then they just go to reality show auditions to make a living, or maybe they do other things in LA but also go to reality show auditions for extra income. I don't know, but I think there's like a circuit, just like there's kind of circuits of people who like perform as extras and things over and over again. And yeah, people were just talking about that on Reddit, so it's fresh in my mind because I was literally just reading it like 3 minutes ago. But I think that, that sort of, they want you to invest in the reality of these people getting married, and that couple, for instance, has already been married 3 years. So it kind of like, I don't know, just sort of a little bit of a buzzkill. So it's like, I'm at a point in the season where I don't want to like get to know these new people necessarily, and I want them to hog up screen time from my friends and, etc. But that said, I think my favorite part of this episode was actually Darienne's couple, and how fucking and especially the guy, and how fucking hysterical they were, and how he like fucking owned Untucked. They were clearly fans of the show who've watched it over and over again. I died / gagged / all that other shit when he I don't know what all that other shit is. When he like was when they were like, we want to look like Detox or Sharon. That was really funny to Darien. And just it was like proxies for the fans on the show, and then he was totally feeling his fantasy in the whatever we call the lounge this year. I thought it was the Form Decor lounge now, but they haven't said that since like the 2nd episode, right? So is it just the Untucked lounge, or is it that Form Decor sponsored it after they filmed, so that's why no one ever says it on the show? I can't remember. Whatever. In the lounge. I don't know what else I want to say about this episode. I actually was more entertained by the 10 minutes of next week, if you guys watched the preview, and the puppet challenge, which is back, yay, than I was of this, this week. I think what's really fun with this last 6 girls and now this last 5 girls is that at this point they are so tightly bound, and there aren't any... There's playful rivalries this year, and like, a little tension they're trying to play up, but there's no like really ugly feuds and shit this year. That everyone is just kind of being slightly delightful together, and just a joy to watch because they're all so smart and quick, and I would think that this group is actually a producer's dream, because it's just like you just gotta like turn on the fucking whatever and like let it roll, and they're a riot. Sniping at each other and doing their shade throw and their jokes and they, reads and whatever. But so funny, all of them, and I think just has such a genuine and authentic vibe that shows through, and Yeah, I just think this has to go down as one of their better seasons. You know, I've said this in other videos, so I don't know that I need to repeat it, but you know, what I've always said is that I don't have any problem with the fact that there's artificiality and a production to Drag Race, right? Like, that's part of making good television, that's part of making it entertaining. The show at its best has always poked fun at the entire genre of reality TV and kind of, you know, been reality TV as a drag, been in reality TV drag, right? But you know, the last season or two, at least All Stars in season 5 especially, just felt like they had this cannedness. They felt canned. I don't know, there was like a lack of vitality or unpredictability or something, that there was just this like, this way that everything felt a little too packaged and not fun. Some of it was just ugly and uncomfortable. So this season has been consistently unpredictable in a lot of ways. Not necessarily unpredictable in terms of who's going to win and all that shit, but unpredictable in terms of, you know, what's going to develop in the challenges between the queens week to week. The dynamics have been really unpredictable, and like I said before, they've let people be more than just one thing or one type, and it just makes it a way more fun and a way more interesting show to watch. The producers don't need to do the work, the queens are doing it for them. And to me it shows good production this year, that they are getting the right balance between shaping the story and taking a step, taking a step back, taking a back seat, whatever, when it leads to a more effective show. So I think that's all I'm going to say this week. I probably forgot to talk about something. I don't know. Yeah, I really hope that, I like Darien Lake a lot, but I really hope that it's her who leaves next week, just because it seems like there's a good chance that, it's almost a sure thing that Bianca's going to be through the end, and it seems like the setup with Adora's storyline is to make her the underdog that's there till the end. So if there's only space for a third or fourth, I really don't want Dela to go home before the last. I really would love to have Dela in the final group. So we'll see how that goes. I hope so. I really like Courtney and Darien both, but I hope it's one of them that goes this next week, and not De La 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 La. If I talk like this, do you guys know about that thing where if you talk in a soft voice, people make whole videos, and there are people who just go around watching them on YouTube because they get a euphoric sensation whenever they listen to someone talk like this. They feel it in their body euphorically or something. I forget what the phenomenon is called, but it's weird. I don't know why I'm talking about that. These unedited videos this year have been like, I'm on crack. I don't know what's happening. But much love to you all. Mwah.